Someone in heaven left $15,000 hidden in your house. Here's exactly where. Watch fast. Archangel Michael says, "The clock is running and the veil is thin." You are not watching this by accident because a promise was sealed in love and tucked into wood, fabric, and dust inside your own home. Tonight the promise opens and the path is simple, clear, and exact. Listen closely because details matter and time is precious. The person who loved you and now watches from heaven did not leave riddles to frustrate you. They left a map disguised as ordinary life, and I am here to guide your hands to every single hiding place. Breathe once and settle your nerves because nothing here requires breaking walls or risking harm. You will need a flathead or Phillips screwdriver, a small flashlight, painter's tape, a butter knife or putty knife, and a soft towel. Keep your phone nearby to take photos as proof and to remember how things were before you move them. This is for your house, the space that holds your scent, your footsteps, and the echo of their laughter. The instructions are precise and safe, and you will return every cover and screw exactly as you found them. Prepare a table or clear spot where you can place each item in order as you discover it. There are 4 caches, and together they total $15,000. You will find them in everyday places you touch, pass, and polish without thinking. The amounts are $1, $500, $2, $500, $5, 000, and $6, 000, and each package carries a small sign so you know it belonged to them. Before you begin, turn on the brightest light in each area you enter and take a quick photo. This keeps you calm, organized, and able to restore everything neatly after you finish. You are not trespassing into mystery, you are fulfilling a gift made for you. Start in the bedroom first because love rests there and so does the first key. Walk to the dresser or wardrobe that holds your socks and folded shirts, the one that creaks softly when you open it. Pull the bottom drawer out as far as it will go. Lift the drawer straight up and angle the front slightly downward. Most drawers release when the small wheels clear the track. Set the drawer on the towel to avoid scratching the floor. Shine your flashlight into the cavity where the drawer used to sit. Feel along the very back underside edge of the cavity, where a thin strip of wood spans left to right. You will feel painter's tape folded over a small fabric tab or the edge of brown paper. Gently peel the tape back. It will release a shallow wooden panel, no thicker than a picture frame backing. Slide that panel forward and catch it with your free hand so it doesn't drop. Behind the panel is a flat cloth pouch the size of a paperback, secured with 2 paper clips. Lay the pouch on the towel and open it carefully. Inside is the first sum, exactly $2. 500 in mixed bills wrapped with a brittle blue rubber band. You may also find a tiny brass key on a white string and a note with 3 lines written in quick, familiar handwriting. The note reads like breath, for nights when you worry, for mornings when you choose courage, for the place where the air hums. Hold the brass key for later because it is symbolic more than functional. The true unlock is memory. Fold the note and keep it with the pouch because their words steady your heartbeat. Place everything together and move to the hallway with soft feet, as if they still nap in the next room. Stand where the hallway meets your living room or the bedrooms, somewhere you pass 10 times a day. Look for a rectangular vent near floor level or knee height, often the return vent with a simple grill. It is usually held by 2 or 4 screws at the corners or along the sides. Turn your thermostat to off for a moment so the air does not pull dust while you work. Use your screwdriver to back each screw out slowly, placing them in a cup so none roll away. Lift the vent cover straight off and set it on the towel. Shine your flashlight into the duct and look not into the darkness but along the left and right edges just inside the opening. You will see a thin wire loop or a ribbon tail tucked against the metal lip, placed there so it cannot be sucked too far inward. Hook the loop gently with your finger and pull straight toward you. Out slides a shallow metal tin that once held mints, wrapped in plastic, the plastic softened and ridged by time. Wipe it with the towel and open it over your clear space. Inside are carefully folded bills stacked tight and bound with thread. Count them as you breathe, steady and slow, and you will reach $5,000 on the dot. There may be a folded index card under the money with a sentence pressed hard enough to dent the paper. It says, "You will not go without, not while my love reaches across the air you breathe." Return to the duct, and before you replace the cover, take your phone and photograph how the tin was positioned. Place the tin back for a moment, not because the money stays there but to confirm you understand the exact fit. Then remove the tin again, close it, and keep it with the growing collection. Reattach the vent cover, tighten the screws by hand until snug but do not over-torque, and turn your thermostat back to its previous setting. Wipe your hands and take a sip of water. You have found $7,500 so far, and the map is still open. Now go to the kitchen, to the sink base cabinet where you keep dish soap and sponges and sometimes forget the flashlight. Kneel and look at the baseboard beneath the cabinet doors, the low, recessed strip called the toe kick. That quiet strip is often a door in disguise. Run your fingertips along the top edge of the toe kick where it meets the cabinet, feeling for a gap or a tiny set of magnets. Slide a butter knife or putty knife gently into the seam in the middle and apply even pressure. The panel will flex, click, and then pop free like a secret you were always meant to know. Lay the toe kick panel on the towel and shine your light into the cavity. At the left side sits a cigar box wrapped in wax paper and anchored with a loop of twine so it doesn't rattle when you walk. Pull the twine slowly until the box slides into your hands. Open the box and breathe in the faint scent of cedar, old paper, and a hint of soap from years of kitchen life. Inside there is an envelope labeled plainly with your initial or a nickname they alone used. Under the envelope is a stack of bills equal to $1,500, wrapped with a strip of cloth torn from a shirt you remember. The envelope holds two things: a photocopy of a recipe or a shopping list, and a taped corner of a family photograph. The recipe or list exists to make you smile, to remind you that love feeds both body and hope. The photo corner points your memory toward the living room wall where the largest frame hangs. Replace the toe kick panel by aligning it left to right, then pressing firmly at the center until the magnets or clips catch. Touch the cabinet doors and listen for the soft answer of wood settling. You have now gathered $9,000, and the path bends toward the room where stories live. Walk into the living room and stand before the largest photo frame, the one everyone notices but rarely studies. It may hold a wedding picture, a group portrait, or a sunrise from a trip you still talk about. Lift the frame off the wall carefully and carry it to a flat surface like a dining table. Flip the frame over and study the back, where small metal tabs fold over the cardboard backing. One by one, bend the tabs up with your fingernail or the flat edge of the butter knife. Slide the backing away and pause as the paper sighs. Behind the main photo there is a second, thinner sheet, and behind that, taped smartly across the rails, lies a heavy craft envelope. Your name appears again in their handwriting, the letters familiar and sure. Peel the tape back slowly so the paper fibers do not tear, and hold the envelope with both hands. Open the envelope and remove 4 thick bundles, each secured with twine, each labeled with a year or a word that means home. The total here is $6,000, folded flat and kept pristine by intention and care. There is a final line penciled on the inside flap. When you stand where we smiled, smile again. Replace the photo, the backing, and the tabs exactly as they were, and rehang the frame so its memory continues working. Step back and let your eyes rest on it for a heartbeat. You have now located $15,000 across 3 places, but there is one more gesture left to complete the promise. Return to the bedroom where you began and place the brass key, the notes, and the money on the bedspread. Sit at the edge and notice how still the room is, how the corners soften when you breathe. Your loved one asked that you would not rush this moment because honoring a gift is part of receiving it. Open the cloth pouch again and feel the faint texture of thread that once ran through their hands. You may hear their voice in the quiet, the rhythm of ordinary conversation kept alive by the objects they touched. Let that voice remind you that this money was practical, purposeful, and meant to relieve worry, not create new burdens. Count the total a second time. $2, $500 from the wardrobe cavity, $5, from the hallway vent, $1, $500 from the kitchen toe kick, and $6, from behind the living room frame. Add them in any order and they still land on the same certainty, $15,000. You are not imagining this. You are completing a circle of care. Take an envelope or small lockbox and separate a portion for immediate needs, rent, utilities, groceries, transportation. Choose one manageable debt to silence completely so your morning coffee tastes like possibility again. Keep a humble reserve for emergencies so the gift keeps working. Do one kind thing with a small part of the money in their honor. Flowers at a bedside, food for a neighbor. A book for a child. It does not need to be grand to be holy. The generosity you send outward completes the message that began with their steady hands and ends with your brave heart. Now photograph each place you opened, not to post or to boast, but to remember the exactness of grace. Your future self will thank you for these tiny records when memory blurs and life moves quickly. Tape the small notes inside a journal so their words travel with you. Store the money in a safe spot you control, not under a mattress or inside the original hiding places. Consider a bank deposit for most of it, with a modest amount kept for immediate purchases. Whisper a promise to yourself that no impulse will outrun the purpose of this gift. If the brass key opens a memory box, a hope chest, or a drawer you always meant to organize, use it today. Not every key turns a lock. Some keys simply remind you that you already hold the door. Let that reminder be enough, and keep the key on your ring so it taps the world gently when you walk. When you pass the hallway vent tomorrow, you will smile at its ordinary courage. When you stand at the kitchen sink, the humming world will feel steadier because the secret beneath your toes became truth. When you glance at the living room frame, you will see not only a picture but a promise kept. There is one more quiet place you may check, not for money but for meaning. Open the nightstand drawer where they used to keep reading glasses or receipts, and lift the liner. You may find a short letter folded twice, a letter that begins with your name and ends with warmth that never cools. If you find that letter, read it out loud because sound wakes love's brightest colors. If you do not, trust that the words reached you anyway, carried in how precisely you were guided today. The true letter was written in the map that brought you here. You might feel tears press forward now because relief is a soft thunder. Let them fall if they come. Nothing about this moment needs to be stoic. This was planned for you, patiently, and you followed every step. Some people inherit property or furniture. You inherited a plan. It was folded into everyday life so no thief would guess and no storm would steal it. You proved worthy simply by listening and acting with care. Tonight, before sleep, place the notes under your pillow for a single night. Old wisdom says that protection travels with paper. Touched by love. Whether or not you believe that, you will wake lighter because purpose rearranged your burdens. In the weeks ahead, you will notice 3 changes: the way you budget, the way you breathe, and the way you speak to yourself. Money cannot heal grief, but it can loosen fear so healing finds room to work. This gift was not meant to dazzle, it was meant to steady. Remember that the person who left this for you had limits and worries too, and still chose to carve hope into wood and tape hope to vents. They believed you would be the one to receive it. And here you are, holding time in your hands. If guilt tries to tug at you, replace it quickly with gratitude and responsibility. Use what you need without apology, because this was meant for need. Save what you can with intention, because this was meant for tomorrow too. You may feel an urge to tell only one trusted person, someone who loved them as you did. If you share, speak gently and keep the exact locations private. Not every secret must become a story. Let the miracle live quietly in the home it chose. When doubt whispers late at night, open your phone and look at the photos you took of each hiding place. Doubt evaporates in the presence of evidence. So does fear, when it sees you steady and clear-eyed. Place the brass key in a small bowl by your door so it says hello and goodbye each day. Keys remind us that entrances and exits both matter. You have exited anxiety and entered a hallway of breathing room. If you feel a nudge to write them a 1-page letter in return, do it now. Tell them what you found, how you will use it, and how their care arrived exactly on time. Place that letter behind the photo in the living room for one night, then keep it with your journal. Light a candle or switch on a small lamp that always made the room feel kinder. Stand for a moment and let quiet spread its wings. The ordinary hum of your home feels different now because love adjusted its volume. When you fold the cloth pouch and tuck it away, you close a chapter with respect. When you count the 4th bundle again, you open a chapter with courage. Both motions are sacred, both are yours. If a voice in you thinks, "Why me?" answer it with the truest sentence you can hold, because you were loved enough to be prepared for. Because your future deserved ease where life had been rough. Because someone in heaven still partners with your days. There is no trick here and no trap. There is only the precision of affection and the practicality of someone new where dust gathers. You have touched that affection and turned it into groceries, bills paid on time, sleep that arrives sooner. Take one last walk through the house tonight, touching the places that kept this promise safe. The wardrobe breathes, the hallway listens, the kitchen nods, and the frame glows quietly. Your home is not a museum of grief, it is a workshop of care. Tomorrow, if you need to, set up one simple budget on paper that splits the money into needs, savings, and one small joy. Write the amounts next to each because numbers that serve love remain loyal. Keep the paper in the same drawer that once held the cloth pouch so continuity is honored. In a month, read these notes again and notice the difference in your chest. You will stand straighter not because money made you taller but because fear stopped curling your shoulders in. This is what relief does. It gives you back inches you didn't know you lost. If questions arise about how they managed this, let mystery have the last smile. Some answers live in timelines and bank slips, others live in kindness and courage. Believe the latter even if you never find the former. When holidays come, place a single flower at the base of the living room frame. Whisper their name into the fabric of the room. Smiles are permitted, and so is relief. You have done exactly what you were meant to do. You followed the map without rushing, you honored the hands that drew it, and you safeguarded the future they loved so much. The miracle here is not just the money, it is that love learned carpentry and logistics to reach you. Now rest. Let your shoulders soften and your jaw unclench. The house is lighter because secrets fulfilled themselves and chose to become quiet truths. I will keep watch as you close the night. If fear tries to wander back in, remember the clean click of a toe kick releasing and the sure weight of a mint tin in your palm. Remember the scratch of a pencil line on an envelope flap that spelled out your smile. Walk to the window, draw the curtain, and leave one small light on as a lighthouse for tomorrow. You are safe, provided for, and trusted. You are exactly where you need to be, and the gift is exactly what it needed to be. Carry this calm into your sleep and into your morning coffee. Carry their notes in your pocket for one day, then fold them into your journal. Carry yourself kindly because that is what they wanted most. When anyone asks what changed, you may simply say, "I was reminded that I am loved in practical ways." That answer is true, private, and strong. It honors the living and the remembered. This is your closing instruction and your lasting permission. Build something steady with what you found. Let it free you to choose well, breathe deep, and step forward without the old weight. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, "The map is complete yet the message still unfolds." A gift like this keeps working when you shape your days around it with care. Your hands turn secrets into safety, and now your choices turn safety into a steady future. Begin with a simple 7-day rhythm that calms the mind. Day 1 secures the cash and lists your immediate needs on a single page. Day 2 pays one bill to zero so your mornings start clear. Day 3 builds a small reserve in your bank so unseen bumps meet a cushion and not a cliff. Day 4 sets aside a quiet hour to organize the notes and photos you found so memory stays warm and nearby. Day 5 moves through your home with a soft cloth and a calm eye because order supports courage. Day 6 creates one generous gesture in their honor that fits your means and your heart. Day 7 belongs to rest, reflection, and a walk through your rooms to feel the air steady around you. This cadence turns a windfall into a way of living. Shape a 30, 60, 90-day plan that respects the limits of energy and time. The first 30 days focus on stability, predictable bills, and breathing room. The next 30 days strengthen savings, reduce one more debt, and tidy the corners your eyes skip. The final 30 days build a habit stack you can maintain when life speeds up again. Habits beat heroics because quiet repetition outlasts adrenaline. Your loved one designed the gift to meet the life you actually live. Store the cash you keep at home in a fire-resistant bag or lockbox that only you access. Choose a location that stays steady in temperature and hidden from casual sight. Avoid returning it to the original hiding places because the map has already served its purpose. Deposit the majority in an account you check with intention, not every hour. Set notifications for large movements so you remain in command without constant watching. Calm stewardship beats anxious guarding. If you share the news with a single trusted person, decide what to reveal and what to keep. You can honor the story while guarding the details. Privacy protects both memory and safety. Keep the notes you found and any letters in a clear sleeve inside a binder labeled with a date. Photocopy or scan them so your daily handling does not wear them thin. Words that cross time deserve gentle preservation. Create a small ritual that renews gratitude without performative display. A lit candle at dusk or a quiet nod at the living room frame holds the thread. Rituals anchor meaning when schedules rush you. Walk the house with practical eyes and complete a small maintenance loop. Replace one HVAC filter, test a smoke alarm, and wipe the vent cover you removed with a dry cloth. Safety honors the hands that cared for you. Check the toe, kick panel to confirm its magnets sit flush and silent. A firm press across the center returns the seam to invisibility. Small details carry large peace. When bills arrive this month, touch each envelope once with purpose and then act. Pay, file, or schedule without creating a stack that drains energy. Momentum stays strong when paper moves quickly. Give future you a gift by labeling a folder relief documents. Place photos of the hiding spots, the notes, and your written plan in that folder. Hard moments soften when proof of progress sits within reach. Build a modest appetite for joy that does not devour the gift. Choose one simple treat that marks this turning point without creating a new habit of constant spending. The joy lands deeper when it does not ask for a sequel every day. Consider speaking with a trusted advisor about local rules for gifts and deposits. Laws differ by place and circumstance, and clarity keeps your path clean. Professional guidance can be brief, targeted, and worth the calm it buys. Keep a ledger for 90 days that tracks inflows and outflows with plain words. A ledger tells the truth without drama and teaches patterns you can actually use. Numbers become companions when they speak clearly. If a memory hits hard while you handle the money, stop and breathe with both feet on the floor. Grief can travel with generosity without stealing its purpose. Allow the crest to pass and then return to the plan. Place the brass key where you see it at the start and end of each day. Let it remind you that doors answer to steady hands. Keys are tiny sermons on agency. Revisit the living room frame and let your eyes rest on the image inside. Notice how your chest loosens because the frame now carries a new layer of meaning. It becomes both art and archive, both story and shelter. In a quiet hour, write a single page titled, "What This Gift Changes." Name 3 burdens it lifts, 3 habits it strengthens, and 3 hopes it funds. This page becomes a compass when doubt tries to blur direction. Some gifts ask you to run, this one asks you to root. Roots spread silently and feed stability from below. Your choices water those roots every time you pay with intention. The house itself feels different because attention moved through it like a tuning fork. Spaces love to be seen, and seen spaces return the favor. You walk lighter because order hums under your steps. You can place a small note inside the wardrobe cavity that now sits empty. The note can say that gratitude lived here and then moved into a life. Leave the panel snug so the circle remains closed with care. In the hallway, run a soft cloth along the baseboards and edges. Dust carries old weight and lifts gladly when invited. Clean edges teach the eye to rest. At the kitchen sink, turn on warm water and let it run for a few seconds to clear any stale smell. The toe kick panel remains quiet under your stance like a kept promise. Everyday tasks now carry a thin gold line of memory. Create a contact card in your phone named Steady Choices. List your bank branch, one advisor, and your own written rule for spending from the gift. Each glance at the card returns you to calm. When you feel the tug to spend impulsively, open the binder where the notes live and read a single line. The handwriting carries a voice that knows you. That voice loved your future enough to plan this moment. Set 2 reminders across the next year to revisit your 30, 60, 90-day plan. Plans breathe and benefit from a gentle check. Adjustments are not failures. They are signs of continued relationship with purpose. Place one bill from the found money into a frame and display it privately in a drawer or closet. This is not a trophy, it is a touchstone. Touchstones keep resolve from evaporating under ordinary heat. If you uncover more keepsakes while tidying, treat them like small comets that briefly light your day. Catalog them without letting them crowd your surfaces. Meaning grows when it is curated, not piled. Open the windows for a few minutes and let fresh air move through the house. A gift that traveled through time. Appreciates a breath of today. Air resets rooms and minds with elegant simplicity. Map your debts and circle one that can be fully cleared because of this gift. Freedom expands when one chain drops away completely. Mark the date of that release so anniversaries can remind you how far you came. Set aside a small sum as a starter for a future dream that once felt out of reach. Dreams grow bravely when they have even a tiny root of funding. Your loved one wanted more than survival for you. If a family dispute ever tries to turn this gift into a battlefield, return to your records, your plan, and your calm. Clarity removes fuel from needless fires. You stand on careful ground built with honest steps. Give yourself permission to feel ordinary again after the glow fades. Extraordinary moments eventually hand the day back to dishes, emails, and lists. The power remains because habits carry it for war when nights turn heavy. Place the brass key in your palm and sit quietly. The weight says you are not empty, not helpless, not alone. Small metal can speak louder than noise. For the wardrobe, place felt pads under the drawer corners when you reinsert it. Smooth movement signals a life that no longer scrapes. Maintenance becomes a love language to your space. For the vent, mark a calendar to vacuum the grill every few months. Air moves better when dust bows out. Breathing becomes a practice and not a chore. For the frame, rotate it off the wall once a year to check the tabs and wipe the glass. Care prevents brittleness and preserves both picture and promise. This small act adds years to both memory and material. Create a tradition that costs little and plants deep. A walk at twilight on the anniversary of this day counts as a tradition. Traditions stitch time together so meaning does not fray. When you speak about this season in the future, use language that honors both the mystery and the labor. You were guided and you acted. Both truths deserve a seat at the table. Store one printed photo of the money bundles as proof for your private records. Keep it sealed and out of sight, because pride is not the point. Documentation is practical kindness to your future self. If the house ever changes hands, you can leave a single kind sentence hidden in a neutral spot. The sentence can bless the next person without revealing any history they do not need. Homes like to pass quiet benedictions forward. Your daily walk now crosses a threshold where fear once stood. That threshold stays swept when you repeat your simple practices. Clean thresholds welcome good days. Archangel Michael says, "You have learned the practice of steady miracles." A steady miracle is not a flash. It is a flame that refuses to gutter in wind. Your choices are the glass that shields that flame. Keep the receipts for every major step you take with this gift. Paper becomes a chorus that sings of wisdom chosen again and again. Choruses carry you when solo strength needs a rest. If you hear their laugh in a corner of the room, allow it to lift your mouth into a smile. Joy honors grief by proving it did not steal your entire sky. The sky in you grows wide when money no longer clouds the horizon. Set an intention to teach one person you love a simple habit you learned here. Teaching turns a private relief into a small legacy. Legacies outlive banknotes because they live in behavior. Tomorrow morning, brew your tea or coffee and stand by the window where the light finds your hand. Say a sentence of gratitude that names the outcome you now live. Naming seals reality into the muscles and the mind. If you ever feel the urge to craft a new hiding place for a future gift to someone else, remember the lessons of simplicity, safety, and common paths. Hiding in the familiar hides best. Documentation for the right eyes at the right time completes the circle. You are now the keeper of a finished plan and the author of the next chapter. Finished plans deserve closure. New chapters deserve clarity. You hold both with a steadiness you earned step by step. Archangel Michael says, "Let this be the season you trade panic for pattern." Patterns keep you even when storms mutter outside your door. The gift you found taught your house to hum in the key of calm. Walk forward with a wallet that obeys your values and a calendar that honors your energy. Rest when the work is done and play when the moment invites you. Love remains the reason and the reward. The frame glows at dusk, the vent breathes clean, the cabinet sits quiet, and the wardrobe rests easy. Your rooms learned your rhythm and answered with peace. The gift continues to work because you continue to tend it. Tonight the light you leave on is not a lighthouse for worry but a beacon for balance. Balance turns windfalls into foundations. Foundations hold houses and futures alike. Archangel Michael says, "The promise kept arriving because you kept walking. Keep walking with confidence born from care. Keep choosing the next right thing until your days feel like home."